Peace and blessings. This is our Raminyah Ingram, your spiritual clarity doula. We're all on the path to spiritual growth and development. We're all looking to attain enlightenment and to expand. You're lying to yourself if you think righteous anger isn't an emotionally exhausting, manipulative tactic. It is. And, we're sitting up here and we're saying, oh my gosh, we're reacting with this anger over some mistreatment of either ourselves, or an insult or some malice of another person. So when we're angry, right, I'm not angry because you did something to me. The righteous anger, that righteous indignation, I think this indignation, that's it, righteous indignation. That right there is based on how you feel about what's happening to someone else. It's the righteous anger is about how you feel about what's happening with somebody else. And I know I got some posts, I got some responses about why am I being judgmental? And it's like, wow, you got that righteous anger, you're indignant about me making a statement. And I put these out before making this live because I'm like, you know what? Let's see how people respond. Let's see what they say. Because you're mad at me now, right? You're angry because you think I'm judging. And I'm like, no, I'm stating a premise. You're angry at what somebody else, the mistreatment of somebody else. And so the one thing I want to talk about today is the key to understanding righteous anger is by knowing the motivation behind the anger. What are you motivated by? Is it really that you're upset that somebody else got mistreated, that somebody else got insulted, that somebody else got, there was a sense of injustice against somebody else? Or are you, right? Or are you coming at it from the standpoint, well, I want my voice heard. I want to be seen. I want to be the savior. I want to be, that God sent. I want to be the martyr. And so therefore, I'm going to get angry for this other person. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to live my life by righting the wrongs of all of the other people. And so now we got this anger and we want to call it, righteous anger. But, we're learning as we grow up that anger is a quote unquote bad emotion. So in order to get angry and not feel like, why are you getting angry about that? So you put righteous on the front of it. When in actuality, it's not about that person getting wronged. It's about you wanting to be heard and you wanting your agenda put out there. And so you want people to see you a certain type of way, And so you go above and beyond to use this anger. Like the anger makes you louder. You're more passionate. The most passionate person is the one who is really about that life. The angrier you are, the more, you want to be that Malcolm X and that Martin Luther King, no justice, no peace mindset. You want to be that person who affected change so people can look at you and give you, the accolades that you're looking for. It's about that being in control. Yeah, I said it. Righteous anger is about being in control. The person who can fly into a rage and shout out at the top of their mouth, at the top of their voice, that's the person who's going to get listened to. That's the person who's going to be seen. It's that person who's choosing to shout out. It's emotionally exhausting. And it is a manipulation tactic because you want to be seen. There's other ways that you can right the mistreatment of others. There's other ways that you can, when you have experienced a sense of injustice in yourself and other people, then there are other ways that you can do it without the quote unquote righteous anger. That reactive emotion, the loud. And see, the reason why it's emotionally exhausting and it's emotionally manipulative is because your anger, you have to have enough anger, right? You have to generate enough emotion that you get other people to assist you. So now you get the people to assist you, and you have to have this, we can't let this happen type of attitude, because you want to be the leader. You want to be the one who rights the injustice. You want to be the one who says, I'm about to make this unjust act. I'm going to put it in the face of the masses, and I'm about to be the one that takes the inequality and makes it equal, and I'm about to expose the corruption, and I'm about to, I'm. It's a lot of I's in there, because there's other ways that you can go about it. The moment that you went to other people for your cause is the moment that you became manipulative. And is manipulation a bad thing? Is it a good thing? That's for you to decide for yourself. Is it emotionally exhausting? That's for you to decide for yourself. Is it an emotionally exhausting manipulative tactic? That's for you to decide for yourself. Is it a part of the process? What process? What process is righteous anger a part of? When you understand your own anger, that's an internal, intimate realization. You're angry on the inside of your own body, and what's going on inside of your own body has nothing to do with anybody else. But we're still angry, and see, that anger trickles into everything else that we're doing. It trickles into the 8 dimensions of wellness that I talk about so often. That righteous anger, because you got to be right. You want to have righteous anger for other people because you're angry with yourself internally. So that's why you have to have this anger, around everything you do. That's why you have to be loud. That's why you have to have, all of these different people joining in. And so you're triggered. So now you're angry emotionally. Whenever somebody's financially done wrong, they didn't get the house that they wanted, or they didn't get, the loan that they wanted, or they didn't get the advances that they wanted. Now you're financially, something financially happened, and you're like, oh, I need that. I need to build this anger up, and I'm going to help this person because there's an injustice that happens socially. Like, oh my gosh, this person doesn't like you, but oh, this person said this negative thing about you, and oh, this person did this to somebody else. It happened. And so the righteous anger on this one individual, I'm going to put meaning behind this, because for me, this had meaning. I had this happen to me, so I don't want it to happen to other people. So I'm going to fight for the person. I'm going to fight for the little person. Why is it manipulative? Because the moment that you said that was the moment that there was a power struggle. It's the moment that you became superior over that other person, and you thought of them as inferior. In order for you to fight for somebody, there has to be some level. I'm going to fight for you because you can't fight for yourself. How do you know that? Now you put them in a child position. Children can't fight for themselves. But this is a grown-up. This is an adult. This is a fully realized being. They don't have any physical, mental ailments that would stop them, from understanding what was really going on. And so now that person becomes inferior and you become superior because now you have this righteous anger. And now everybody's watching you and listening to you. Spiritually, it happens. Physically, your job. I'm going to be the one. I'm going to be the one to prove the rights and wrongs. Is it right or wrong? That's up to you to decide. Not up to me to tell you whether you think righteous anger works for you or not. All I'm saying is that at some point in time, we have to look inside of ourselves, because the science of human success is not about lying to yourself. It's about knowing what really pains you and what's making you unhappy. It's what's going on in your own body. The reason why you're successful and you don't appreciate your success, the reason why you're successful and you still don't feel like that's enough, the reason why you're successful and you still have not cleared up all of the the gunk, the inside of you, is because you're not honest with yourself. Righteous anger isn't about the other person. It never is. It's about you. It's about your fear. It's about the fear of a loss. It's about the fear of contempt. It's about the fear that you're going to be criticized. And so you're always angry, so you won't be criticized. You're always angry about somebody who's wronging you, or wronging someone else, because you're afraid. You are afraid. You're afraid of criticism. You're afraid that you're going to lose the love of someone else. You're afraid you're going to lose your voice. Were you to try something different, do something different. So you get entangled in these situations where you can't get out, And so when I say that it's emotionally exhausting, it is emotionally exhausting for you, because now you've manipulated the situation, and when people are not moving in the direction that you want them to move in, and your manipulation tactics, because they're going to wear off. Righteous anger cannot sustain itself. It's going to go up and then it's going to go down. Fires burn out all the time. And when people are not there to keep that flame going, when you can't ignite that in somebody else, now you feel betrayed. You feel that they're not for you or on your side. And now, because the righteous anger no longer works, you have to use, I can't believe you. Now you got to use the guilt tactics, the disappointment and the sadness. You got to use those tactics to get people paying attention to you. The problem of righteous anger is that there's a problem with your interpersonal relationship. The science of human success, the science behind bridging that gap between your internal and your external life, it's all about how honest you can be with yourself. Not with other people, but with yourself. You're living a painful and unhappy life. And you use all these different type of words to allow yourself to have people define who you are and how you are. You're suffering because you want to be seen. No matter how successful you are, you still want to be seen. And you use that anger. You use that anger. And so you find yourself getting angry at every little thing. I'm doing you wrong. I am not for you. I am against you because I said something that you didn't like. I called you a name. When we grow up, we learn sticks and stones may break our bones, but names will never hurt us. Words will never hurt us. But then, man, nobody's breaking my bones. Nobody's paying attention to me. So now I need to be indignant. I need to find something wrong with everything you say so that the attention can be on me. And then I'm going to get enough people watching me. I'm going to get enough people to get on my side. I'm going to manipulate enough people and their hurts and their pains. And then when it's all over, said and done, and you have your accolades and people are like, yay, great, they go on with their lives. And in that moment, the emptiness, the shame, the anger, the nervousness, the depression, it all comes all right back in. The grief, the insecurities, they all come funneling back in like a 70-foot tidal wave because of one simple thing. You weren't doing it for yourself. You weren't dealing with the anger that you have inside of yourself for yourself. You wanted to take your mind off of everything that was going on inside of you. And so you picked up a word. You picked up an energy. Righteousness. Righteousness. That's what you did. You picked up righteousness. Because righteousness, it's about being morally correct and justifiable. Righteousness means to be virtuous. Righteousness means to be decent and worthy and upright. Righteousness means to be good, excellent. It means that your conduct is high vibrational. That's righteous. That's righteous. But because in your body, inside of you when you're by yourself, you don't feel any of those things. What you feel is a corrosive emotion that is mentally and physically destroying you. Anger doesn't dissipate. It's an intense emotional state. It's strong, it's uncomfortable, and it's hostile. Anger hurts. Anger comes up when there's a threat. Anger is antagonistic in and of itself. Anger gives you a way to express negative feelings, right? Anger allows you to say everything that you couldn't say under any other circumstance. It increases your blood pressure. It changes you physically. It takes a toll on your health. It's chronic. It flares up and it spirals out of control. But we don't care about any of that going on in our own bodies or in the bodies of other people when we put righteous in front of it. It's an oxymoron. It's a contradiction. You're living a contradiction when you embrace righteous anger. Stop hiding. You're falling into an abyss that you've made inside of yourself. You're sitting right there. And because you don't have the courage to bridge the divide, to master the keys of human success, you would hide behind two words that by themselves have no reason to be together. You cannot be righteous and be angry at the same time. When you're ready to take off the mask, stop playing the games with yourself, and really become a master of the science. When you're ready to go from unconscious to conscious, then you know what to do. Get yourself a mentor. You can reach out to me or to somebody in your community. But I would advise you to probably reach out to somebody outside of your community, because obviously they were not letting you know that righteous and anger don't go together. It just doesn't. It does. It's not healthy. It's a lie that somebody said, and we become loyal to the lie. And we don't want to be disloyal to it because enough people have said it. Enough people are saying that this is normal, this is natural, and you've jumped on a bandwagon because there's another way for you to be seen and heard. When you're ready for your external life, the life that you said you wanted, to fit your internal life, the life that you actually are running away from, then private message me. But until then, you're just going to be called out. You're going to be called out, and you're going to keep running these games, these manipulation games. Again, is it right or wrong? That's up for you to decide. It might be right for somebody else. It might be wrong for somebody else. But how does it help you to live this lie? You don't have to be loyal to a lie. All you got to do is reach out. All you got to do is take the steps necessary. And I'll be there. I'll help you when you're ready, but only when you're ready. I'm Raminyah Ingram, your spiritual clarity doula. Peace, blessings, alignment, and evolution.